Welcome to PWS United, a podcast for the Prader-Willi syndrome community, brought to you by PWSA USA. This podcast gives the latest news in research, advocacy, and family support by bringing together staff, volunteers, PWS treatment specialists, biotech and pharmaceutical representatives, caregivers, family members, and individuals with PWS. Our goal is to share education, awareness, and resources with those living with PWS and their supporters. Join us in our mission to enhance the quality of life and empower those affected by Prader-Willi syndrome.
Welcome to another episode of PWS United. I'm here with Carrie, and we're going to be diving into the pulse. And we just want to give a little disclaimer that we are recording a little earlier than usual. It's 6 a.m. my time, 9 a.m. her time. She's heading to Pittsburgh for some cool stuff that she can talk about when she gets back, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A few of us on staff are going, and a lot of it is like a leadership retreat, which will be really nice. We're going to lay out a lot of the great things that'll happen in 2026, and all, collaborate and figure out what each of us wants to do and how we can all help. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing some staff in person. It's a great change of pace because again, we work remote, and so switching it up, getting to work in person once in a while is so nice, so good for the soul. So,
Yes. I just got my
yeah.
ticket for our work retreat in January. So I'm
Mhm.
really excited to, I love being together and getting to talk. That's where I think some of the really good ideas
Yeah.
come from. That's where Ask Nurse Lynn came from, was around
Yes.
a table at a Mexican restaurant.
And honestly, this podcast, I mean, we had the idea to do it as soon as you came on the team, but I think it was at that retreat a few months later that we really made some final decisions and we're like, it's a go. We're doing it.
We're going to
Set
do
it
it.
up. So
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of great things come out of that staff retreat. So can't wait to go back. It'll be
Yeah.
great. So, as mentioned, we are here to talk about our most recent Pulse newsletter that went out on November 7th. It's volume 134. And we start here by kicking off the annual wonderful Give the Gift of Hope Angel Drive campaign. So this is PWSA USA's biggest fundraising campaign every year. And this one this year is extra special because we're celebrating again our 50 years of hope, progress, and community at PWSA. So your gift this season fuels what comes next. We're preparing for new therapies, we're expanding early diagnosis, ensuring that every child with Prader-Willi syndrome gets the support that they deserve from day one and their families. So the next 50 years begins now with us. And we'll have a link to support the 2025 Angel Drive at the link in our show notes. And we also want to give a little plug here. It's not for a couple days yet, but November 15th coming up is International 15q Day. And that draws awareness to 3 syndromes caused by changes within the specific Q11 to Q13 region of chromosome 15, which is Prader-Willi syndrome, Angelman, and Dup15q syndromes. In honor of 15q Day and our PWS community, we are encouraging families to donate $15 to our Angel Drive on November 15th or anytime leading up to that point. But it's just a nice little way, to get involved and to celebrate something special, a unique day that relates to our families. So, yeah, we'll have social media and shareable graphics coming out on the 15th that you can share with your community as well. So we encourage you to keep an eye out for those and please help us spread the word here. We really appreciate it.
I feel like 15 is a good number to ask.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of why we like that as well. It's a fairly easy ask for, I think, a
Yeah.
lot of families. And then there's a reason around it, symbolism, all of that. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I think last year was the first time we really realized
We even knew it was
there
a
is an
day.
International Vision Day.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep bringing it back. And it's perfect that it falls, again, with our Angel Drive campaign. So good find there, Annie.
That's one of the things of social media is you get to
Yeah.
learn about all these because I had seen a reel and I think either you or Stacy had seen one as well.
and then we make it happen.
Yep. The magic of communications.
The magic. I love it. And then to end here for our Angel Drive campaign announcement, we introduced our second season of our Hope in Action video series. And this is a really powerful series that shares real stories from our families and individuals of resilience and hope and community in the Prader-Willi syndrome community. So each story highlights the many ways PWSA makes a difference, from school success and crisis support to advocacy and beyond, illustrating the strength of our families and the heart of our mission. And our first video in this season's Hope in Action series features members of our PWSA USA's Adults with PWS Advisory Board. And Trevor Ryan, Connor Hayback, James Toll, and Abbott Filson share what self-advocacy means to them and why advocacy work is such an important part of their lives. And it is so beautiful, Annie, to
I
hear
love this
them.
video so much.
Yes, yes. Speak from the heart, speak about what's important to them, in terms of advocacy and the work that is meaningful in their lives. So we really encourage everyone to go and watch that. And I just love that we get to do this video series as part of
Mhm.
this.
I shared this video on my Facebook page. It's just kind of like,
Mm.
look what I get to do for work. I mean, I did, to be clear, I did not make the video at all. That's that's above my pay grade. That's Carrie and Nate. But I did get to do some interviews, but yeah, just even having the opportunity to meet these adults with PWS and get to talk with them and see them in action in DC or at the conference has just been such one of my favorite parts about getting to work here. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, funds raised from the Angel Drive do support helping individuals with PWS have their voices heard at events. We were able to bring them, to DC for our fly-in. I think in 2024, we brought 50 individuals with PWS, and that was the most that we were ever able to bring. And so we want to continue growing that number. Again, the Hope in Action series is able to showcase what these funds are doing, how you're helping the community, and this is such an important way. So yeah, just thank you all around. Well, our PWSA memory for the week, we're getting into an article titled Getting Through the Grief. It was from the September to October 1993 issue of the Gathered View. And Loda Mitchell, who has been part of the PWSA community for many years, decades even, and was actually just a recent recipient of one of our Pioneer Awards at the 50th Gala. So she put this together and recounted some of the key points of that year's conference session, Bereavement, Understanding Your Grief. The session was led by Eloise Cole, a nationally known grief specialist who first appeared as Rainbow the Clown. And in the article, Loda shares some different types of grief, how mothers and fathers may experience or express it differently, and tips on how to process it in healthy ways. She included a helpful bulleted list of tips for caring for yourself as well. And you can read more from this article in the Gathered View, Volume 17, Number 5, from September to October 1993, at the link in our show notes. And it's just such an important topic, Annie, I think, to continue putting out for the community. And this was a really special article that she put together.
We actually just had a conversation in our Discord meeting about some upcoming prompts to talk about grief
Mm,
in the
that's great.
PWS community. So if you're on PWS Connect on Discord, it'll be coming up. And if you're not, you should be.
Love it. Good plug. All right. And then our spotlight on hope for the week is actually one that we're bringing back around. It's from 2023. So it's kind of in case you missed it one. It's really special. But in 2023, Maria Kay submitted a spotlight on hope for her son, George, who is living with PWS. And George is a twin. And Maria shared his twin sister, Nicole, was reaching her milestones, and Georgie was painfully behind. He was so persistent, though, trying to imitate his twin sister's every behavior. It was amazing to watch them interact. She talks about the joys of watching George with his siblings and later clarified, don't get me wrong, we had and still have the typical Prader-Willi negative situations, but my realization is that life's most unexpected turns can lead to the most profound growth. That's so well said. That's beautiful. Wow. So we have a full article about the Spotlight on Hope that will be linked in the show notes. And if you haven't read it already, it's from a couple years ago. So even if you maybe have, it's such a nice one to go and read again. And just remember that, every story is different and even the smallest milestones are worth celebrating. So, and we
Yeah,
encourage you to share your own spotlight while you're there. We could
please
always
do.
use more. Thank you. Please and
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
feel like Freya and Rhoda were kinda twins. I mean, they were 16.5 months apart, but that
Mm,
the slower development on Freya's end kind of they were doing some of the similar stuff together, and I remember on Rhoda's first birthday, she was standing up and taking steps, and Freya was, like 2.5 and still wasn't
mhm.
walking. Yeah, she saw Rhoda, and she was like, "Oh, I guess I gotta be doing that." And so then
Mm.
Freya was standing up and trying to take some steps, and just saw a lot of that of, Rona being there really kind of pushing Freya to try harder and to do some things and
Wow,
realize like, "Oh, I'm supposed to be doing that." So,
that's
and then my
amazing.
and my
Those are great
favorite and
memories.
I know I mentioned it, my favorite was always, like, when they would play speech therapist
Yes, yes, I
and
love that.
Rhoda with her
Go
list
Rona.
would say, "Okay, Freya, say dog." She always had a list. God, it was so
Calling in
cute.
life, Rona.
Oh my god, yeah.
She is so sweet. Good sister.
Okay, here's one event we want to let you know about. This is coming up. So, this event coming up is called Claws for a Cause, and this is on Sunday, December 7th, 12 to 4 p.m. Eastern. It is at the Bridgeville VFD Station 117 in Bridgeville, Pennsylvania. This family friendly celebration includes pictures with Santa, a healthy meal, and kid friendly seasonal activities. Cause for a Cause is hosted by a dedicated team of families from the greater Pittsburgh area working together to bring this magical event to life. Holidays can be especially challenging for families like ours, as the season poses unique challenges for children with PWS due to their dietary restrictions. That's why this event focuses on what truly matters: creating joyful memories, fostering connection, and celebrating the season through togetherness and inclusion. And of course, every dollar raised will go directly to PWSA USA to fund advocacy, family support, and vital research to find a treatment for PWS. So if you're interested in this event, you, of course, will find a link to that in the show notes. And I just want to put it out there for any of I do love the Christmas season
Mhm.
for about 2 or 3 weeks. Rona, the day after Halloween on November 1st, she was like, "We can be Christmas now." So it's been an ongoing,
Oh, that's funny,
gotta hold
Annie.
those boundaries. I will not listen to Christmas music yet.
I went into a store, I think on November 1st, and they were playing Christmas music the whole time I was in there. I was like, "Wow, okay. The
Yeah.
transition's happening. It's
It has
happened."
happened, yeah. I know we haven't even had Thanksgiving yet, which I would say is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh,
I get to go home this year too, which is, just always the
oh,
best. I know.
nice.
Yeah. And you
I
get to celebrate in a really fun place.
I will be in Guatemala for Thanksgiving. Yeah. I know, and Rona and because Rona loves Thanksgiving as well, and so we have a bunch of friends down there, and so we told them, like, we still wanna celebrate Thanksgiving
Yeah, oh, good.
because I just like to celebrate the gratitude. That's what we
Absolutely.
celebrate on Thanksgiving,
Agreed.
not
And
anything
you don't wanna,
spiritual.
like, wish away your trip by preparing for the holiday after
That's what I told Rona.
the
I was
holiday
like,
at the trip. Like, let's
When
just
we
get
get
to the
back
trip.
from Guatemala,
For
you
sure.
could start.
Don't
But
wish
she
away
did
the
go
trip.
to a sleepover the other night, and they all brought fuzzy Christmas blankets and hot
Mm,
chocolate, and they watched Christmas movies.
yeah. See, and I'm actually on Rona's team here a little bit. I have been wanting to set up for Christmas already, which is crazy. But I know a lot of people do, so it's not crazy. You're very sane. But we're having people over next weekend, and I don't want them to think that I'm a little loopy for putting putting things up so early. So I'm waiting until the day after.
Oh
Then
my
I'm
god, that's so cute.
allowing myself to go crazy with my Christmas. So, wow, what a side tangent we just went on.
Oh,
But
man.
maybe we should do a little poll out there in the world.
Well,
Are
I was
you a
just thinking that
November
actually,
1st
like
Christmas or no?
yeah, yeah, that'd be fun. We'll put that out on Instagram.
Yeah, I love it. Okay. So, yeah, moving on here. We're going to briefly talk about last week's PWS United podcast episode because one, if you haven't listened, you really should. It was such an amazing conversation, Annie, and I re-listened to it because when we were recording it, you're kind of thinking of like the next question and
Yeah.
thinking of questions while the person's talking, so you don't really get to appreciate fully in the moment what they're saying. And this one too, we want to see what they people are saying so we can help develop some resources and think next steps. So, all that to be said, I re-listened to it and I was getting emotional listening to their stories and Lynn and Mandy, the 2 moms that spoke with us are so they speak so eloquently and they're both just amazing interviewees. They were wonderful. So, yeah, I think some of what was discussed will definitely resonate with families of all compositions, but it does speak specifically to single caregivers. And some of what they said was talking about carrying the full mental load, feeling isolated, finding trusted care for your loved one, or simply finding time for like a much needed nap. So we get into all of that. And I just really love that we're doing this little mini
Me too.
single caregiver series. I
Yeah.
think it's really profound. And from the conversation, I think literally while we were like midway through interviewing them, we talked about potentially building a single caregiver support Facebook group. And that is now real.
It's a thing. It's
It's a
there.
thing. So we're excited to have unveiled that in this Pulse newsletter, and we'll also have the link to the Facebook page in our show notes for this episode. But I think it's going to be a great way for people to connect who are single caregivers in the PWS community and just talk through anything they need to talk through and get advice and talk about struggles and positives and yeah, just help each other. And I hope it's a helpful space. So,
Because it's new and people are just learning about it, it will take a minute for people to find it and get in there. And we just really encourage people when you get in there to introduce yourself or start
mhm,
a conversation, get the conversation going. Because sometimes when you create these rooms or whatever, and people come in and everybody's kind of waiting for somebody else to get it started, we'll see. But yeah, don't be
yeah,
shy. Come on in and introduce yourself and all that. And it is a private group. So
mhm.
anything that you put in there will only be seen by the people in the group, including the admin.
And the admins are all PWS parents as well on our
Yeah.
team. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's me and yeah, me and Christy.
Yeah,
Christy and my mom would correct me. I just heard my mom's voice. I was like, "Oh, no, sorry."
very well. Oh, I love it. Awesome. And then we're gonna have one more of these single caregiver episodes coming out, at least planned. I'd love to do more if people are
Mhm.
interested in talking.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't this doesn't have to be the end. This was just what we're
Yeah.
doing for November. So we do have another one recorded. It's coming out next week, and it was a very important conversation.
Mhm.
Like, it was a great conversation, it was an enlightening conversation,
Yeah.
an important conversation, but it is a little harder,
Yeah.
some harder topics. So,
It's such I think that's the best way to put it, Annie, important.
we didn't ask them their parenting hack at the end.
No.
We were like,
No.
"This is not appropriate."
They're beautiful. I mean, honestly, everyone's story is. And they're yeah. You'll listen to it. We won't dive too much
Yeah,
into it right
yeah.
now. I could, but I won't.
I know, it was
Listen next week.
yeah. We're gonna move on to advocacy, we're gonna rein it in. Okay.
Pull ourselves together, Annie.
Okay, so this one is specific to families in Alaska and Iowa. So the Iowa Medicaid Pharmaceutical and Therapeutics Committee and the Alaska Medical Assistance Drug Utilization Review Committee. So that's the P&T Committee and the DUR Committee. They need to hear directly from you, the parents, caregivers, and family members who understand the real life impacts of hyperphagia. So, one of the medications, as I feel like most people know now, under review is Vycat XR, the first ever hyperphagia treatment specifically for individuals living with PWS. That was approved by the FDA in March 2025. So, depending on what state you're in and what the meeting setup is, they are looking for written testimony, and or public comment. So we do have we've been rolling these out. If you've been listening, we've been rolling these out for each state. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I will put a link to the article on our webpage that explains, kind of gives the overview. But for Iowa, your meeting is Thursday, November 20th, and Alaska, your meeting is Friday, November 21st. So we will have a link to both of those blogs that have the more information about how to submit and when to submit by, all of that stuff. We'll have those links in the show notes. So check those out and make sure that you get in there and get your voice heard. We also have a call for Wisconsin families. We need your voice to support SB 203. The Wisconsin Senate is considering SB 203, which is a bipartisan bill that protects patients and local pharmacies by holding pharmacy benefit managers accountable, otherwise known as PBMs. This legislation is especially important for families affected by rare and chronic conditions like Prader-Willi syndrome, who rely on consistent access to medications. To ensure that SB 203 reaches a vote on Tuesday, November 18th, we need more state senators to sign on. So you can find more details and contact information for the senators who have not co-authored this bill, and that's as of November 6th, using the link in our show notes. So if you live in Wisconsin, Carrie, you can get your family.
I've already sent them the link, so
Nice.
they're on it.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you don't think you have to just be a parent, if you live in Wisconsin and you have family in Wisconsin, send it to them, send it to your friends. We hope that Wisconsin families and their friends, their community get out in support of this.
Yeah,
So,
very important. All right, moving on to family support now. We have one of my favorite things that we do every year to share first in this section. So that is Operation Holiday Cheer has returned to support PWS families in 2025. Thanks to the incredible generosity of an anonymous donor who has done this for so many years. I actually don't know the exact number of years they've been doing this. I want to find that out. But they have allowed us to bring back Operation Holiday Cheer again for 2025. And this heartwarming initiative helps spread joy to families in need by easing the financial burden of the holiday season. So, through this program, a select number of families affected by Prader-Willi syndrome will receive gift cards to assist with holiday expenses, ensuring they can focus more on celebrating with loved ones and less on financial stress. So, if your family could benefit from this support, we invite you to apply by completing our Operation Holiday Cheer application. And you can find a link to that in our show notes. Applications are due by Monday, December 1st. So don't miss the opportunity to bring a little extra cheer into your home this holiday season. And we'll also notify families by Friday, December 5th, who have been selected to receive one of these gift cards. And again, we'll have the application available for download in our show notes. And at that link as well gives kind of a how to download the application because it's a PDF fillable form, just as an FYI. So it's not the most the most straightforward document, but it's one that we have to use internally because we have to write internal notes as well. But we've been doing it the same way for many years, so hopefully it's not too tricky. But if you're unable to download it, if you're having trouble, please just contact us. You can email our info at pwsausa.org to get some help there because we want to make sure no one's restricted from applying to this. So please let us know if we can help you. All right. And then our blog of the week is a really cool one. It is Respite and Relationships PWS Moms Hiking Weekends. So cool. So, what happened when one PWS mom invited another PWS mom out for a hike? An annual hiking trip that includes a growing number of PWS moms was formed. Amy McDougall, mom to Noelle, who is 23 living with PWS, organized the first PWS Moms Hike in 2024, and the number of attendees doubled this year. There are 3 trips planned already for 2026, with potentially more to come. So amazing. So these hikes not only offer moms a respite from caregiving, but an opportunity to form connections and relationships with mom who understand this life. And as one 2025 attendee said, the mountains, the conversations, and the community reminded me that I'm not alone on this rare disease journey. I left the retreat feeling lighter, stronger, and deeply grateful. And you can read more about the PWS Moms Hike by reading the blog article at the link in our show notes. And we want to make sure we give a big shout out to the sponsors who helped make these hikes possible. It was Acadia Pharmaceuticals and Soleno Therapeutics. So thank you to them for supporting this. It's really cool that they got involved and were able to help offset some of the costs. So, as we mentioned a little earlier, November is National Family Caregivers Month, and we would like to take a moment to explore what caring for caregivers may look like. In a time when the term self care gets tossed around as an often elusive antidote to a lack of community and resources, our latest blog looks at how families can come together to create spaces of shared respite and resources, freeing one another for some of that much needed self care. And we're going to make that word positive. Yes. Self care is something we love to say. We love it. So, we have a blog that shares easy and affordable self care tips along with some of our staff's favorite ways to unwind and recharge. And for National Family Caregivers Month, we really encourage our caregivers to get creative and resourceful here. Nurture your community connections and then learn how to ask for help before it's needed. That's a big one. And we have a lot of helpful ways to start putting these things into practice at the link in our show notes. And Annie did such an amazing job building this.
I'm in a book group and we're reading Mutual Aid. If you guys don't know the book, Mutual Aid by Dean Spade, it's just a really, really inspiring and informative book on how people come together to support the needs of those in the community, but taking out that kind of saviorism or that privileged helping the unprivileged. But it's a way to
Sure.
come together as a community.
That's interesting. Yeah.
But I love the ideas in there of, you know, what's the say? Be the change. What is it? Be the
You
change
want to
you
see
wanna
in the
see in the
world?
world. Yeah.
Hmm.
We have a lot of needs, and they can't always get met by the organizations or the powers that be, but that doesn't mean that we can't figure out ways to come together and create that support for each other.
Absolutely.
So, that's what that's about.
Love it. And then our Ask Nurse Lynn for the week was submitted on behalf of a female who is 18 years old with a deletion subtype. And the question submitted was, if my child becomes constipated, can we use Miralax to help? And Nurse Lynn had a great response to this. We'll let everyone go and read that if you would like to learn more at the link in our show notes. And do you have
Uh,
something to add,
well,
Annie?
I was just gonna add that I had a colonoscopy recently, and Miralax was a big
Oh,
part of the trip,
no.
and so I'm gonna say,
Yeah.
yeah, it helps.
It helps.
It
She's
works.
coming from personal experience. Good job getting yourself checked out, though, Annie. That's
Yeah. Thanks to my mom and my uncle for creating the need.
well, you heard it from Annie, and then you'll read it from Nurse Lynn. But yeah, go check that out to get a little more details on that subject. And then while you're there, we also have a forum. You can submit your own non emergency medical question about Prader-Willi syndrome for Nurse Lynn to answer. So go and check it out.
So the first thing in research is a new report from Trend on community themes and PWS. So 41% of the accumulated data was taken from conversations on Discord, and that is the PWS Connect channel on Discord. And this is something we want to keep reiterating and make sure families understand that when you join PWS Connect, it's a great place to have these conversations. You're making connections, you're getting advice, you're sharing your experience, and that information is helping drive some of this research. The important thing to know is all of your information is taken off that. So when they pull out the information, the conversations are pulling out keywords. Your name is not attached. Your child's name is not attached. There's no identifying information. So I know that that's a concern of people, and rightly so, but we just really want to clarify that all the identifying information is removed. So the conversations in the PWS Connect Discord channel are private, safe, and secure. And the data collected does help researchers better understand the journey of PWS, which of course leads to better support for the PWS community. So if you'd like to check out this community themes report and or learn more about joining PWS Connect, you will find those links in our show notes. We also have a recording of the Aardvark Hero clinical trial webinar. So the HERO trial is a clinical trial of ARD 101 from Aardvark Therapeutics. This webinar was jointly hosted by PWSA USA and FPWR. And it was just for families to learn more about this global phase 3 clinical trial investigating ARD 101, which is an innovative orally administered treatment designed to help reduce hyperphagia and food seeking behaviors in individuals with Prader-Willi syndrome. We will have a link to the webinar in our show notes if you want to check that out and learn more about this clinical trial.
So we end here with another PWSA resource spotlight, and we have a new resource to share here. Skin picking is a common and difficult behavior in individuals with PWS, often triggered or worsened by anxiety, transitions, boredom, or skin irritation. Skin picking behavior may appear as frequent touching, rubbing, or scratching of the skin or nails, sometimes leading to sores or other injuries. In individuals with Prader-Willi syndrome, this behavior can be repetitive and difficult to control, often linked to sensory seeking or anxiety rather than intentional self-harm. This document provides information on strategies and interventions to help reduce the chances of or mitigate the behavior of skin picking. You will also find samples of specific sensory activities and a sample daily sensory routine, all designed for individuals with Prader-Willi syndrome. So check out again our new resource document, Strategies, Interventions, and Routines for the Prevention or Mitigation of Skin Picking in Individuals with Prader-Willi syndrome. And we'll have it in our show notes. And a big thank you to Annie for putting this together and to our wonderful nurse Lynn Garrick for providing the information to help build it. So yeah, we're excited. We were excited to put this out.
I mean, I like seeing stuff like this sometimes, especially as a parent.
Mhm.
It's something you can hang on your fridge and be like, oh, I need an activity. You
Yeah.
don't have to like weed through a bunch of papers or whatever. It's just all kind of right there.
Yeah.
That's the intention.
So smart to do that. And I think our goal as the communications team is to make more documents like this, like a little bit easier to digest, easier to read through, just quick, simple, bulleted tips and tricks for different facets of PWS and how to help your loved one. Over the next at least year, we're going to start next year, really
Yeah,
making this a priority. So,
it's one of our goals.
yes.
Well, this would be great also for like a babysitter or a caregiver.
Hmm.
Some quick, easy guide. You don't have to get into all the get into
Right.
the mud of what it is.
It'll be super helpful for many families out there. So, any mission moment to end on, Annie, or any final thoughts?
um,
You just celebrated your 2-year
I
anniversary at
did. Yes.
PWSA. You can
Yes. I
maybe give us a little reflection.
okay. Yeah.
Not to put you on the spot. I love doing that.
Woo. Yeah, I just had my 2-year anniversary, work anniversary. I don't know if that was the day that I watched the Hope United video, but it
Mm.
was just so it just really connected for me, like, "Oh, wow, yeah." Like, I got to sit in that room and interview some of them and then, reflecting on all of the amazing things I get to do working here and the work that we're doing and the people that we're meeting, and, of course, you're one of my favorite people now, so I like working with you,
Yay.
and, yeah, it's
Same.
just been it's just been a great experience, and I'm grateful to be here, and I'm grateful to be taking some time off to go to Guatemala, but
Yeah.
but I'll be really excited to come back.
Yeah. No, it's such a well-deserved break, and yeah, you've done so much for the PWS community, for PWSA in the 2-year span. I can't remember exactly what Stacy said. Here, I can pull it up. She said, "I can't believe the difference you have made in just 2 short years. Thank you for everything you do." And
That was
you've
so
made such
sweet.
a difference. Yes, it's amazing the amount of resources we're able to put out, like having your parent perspectives being put into the blog articles and into all of the amazing social posts and documents. And you're doing more than you were ever, I think, thought you were going to do when you came on board.
Yeah, well, thank you.
And I'm very grateful for you as well. It's perfect that it's like in the gratitude season as well. It's you just like really take stock and you really, yeah, do appreciate all of
Mhm.
it.
Did you have a mission moment you wanted to share?
I love that we're doing, honestly, this like single caregiver focus for National Family Caregivers Month. I think it's really clear that these are stories that need to be told. And we need to potentially, yeah, cater some resources and some specific ideas around single caregivers. So I just appreciate the few individuals who have come on and were willing to be vulnerable and open about their experiences as single caregivers. So I think my mission moment is just their seeing their vulnerability and being willing to share it with all of us is beautiful. So
Well,
we will, yeah, be back next week with that next episode. Stay tuned. Well, thanks, Annie.
thanks, Carrie.
Thank you for listening to this episode of PWS United. If you want to learn more about Prader-Willi syndrome and how PWSA USA is making strides in advocacy, family support, and research, visit www.pwsausa.org. And while you're there, we encourage you to sign up for our Pulse email newsletter to stay informed about the latest news, resources, and events. Don't forget to subscribe to the PWS United podcast so you never miss an episode. Our team is always available to support families and their loved ones living with PWS 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. You can call us at 941-312-0400 or email info@pwsausa.org. Catch a new episode next Tuesday, and until then, have a great week.